Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet yet again for another tutorial. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we will be working on this gorgeous little Love-heart bookmark. I know, pretty cute. It is a very basic heart, okay, and it's just made in 2 rows. You've got your circle in there and then you start your love heart and go all the way around there, slip stitch, weave in the 2 ends, and then you cut 3 very, very long strips, which I'll explain later. You put them together, pull them through this little space right here, and then you do your chains all the way down to as long as you like, and then you give the base a little bit of a trim when you get to the bottom. So it's very, very basic. I'm not going to talk too much. We're just going to get stuck right into it. This is just a book I use to show you what size you can make, whatever size you want to make, it doesn't matter. Okay, now the cotton we will be using is obviously my favorite. The Bendigo Woolen Mills pomegranate. The color is my favorite. It's because it's very 80s look about it. Okay, so that's that. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to give you the specs. You will need a 3mm hook. Because we are using the 4-ply, it's rather thin. Okay, the cotton is a very thin cotton. If you're using your 8-ply or your 10-ply, use the hook size that states on your label. Now, it usually states it in a needle, so like in your knitting needle kind. Sometimes it shows you the needles. It's got like a needle look like that, or has a tiny little hook picture, and it doesn't actually say needles or hooks, so you just kind of have to guess that that's what it means. So yeah, use the hook size that is appropriate for your thread. I will be using today the 3mm hook, okay, for the heart part. Now for the tail end, you will need to use a larger hook because we've put the 3 strips together and it's really quite, let me get a nice close-up for you. The tail itself is really quite thick. Okay, now if you use the 5 as well, that would be okay, but I found I did one with the 5. Well, I'll put it somewhere. I don't know what I've done. Oh, here it is. Oh, sorry guys. So I did one with the 5. Not only did it make it thicker, but it also made it shorter, and I used exactly the same amounts of thread. So I tried, rather than using a really thick, comes out real thick and solid, and the chains don't look quite even. So I thought, no, I'll stick to the 4.5. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever suits you, okay? But that's what I did. You will need your scissors, yes, and you will need that darning weaving needle, if I can get it to clear up there. Yep. And you will need your measuring tape. I know. This one here is from Unwind Craft Cafe. I visit the craft cafe as often as I can. They are actually situated in Keilor East. I keep calling it Nidri, but I think it's actually Keilor East. You know, I've had to correct myself lately because I keep saying Nidri, but it's not exactly. All right. So for this tutorial, you will need to know how to make a magic ring, magic circle, magic loop. A lot of people are frightened of it, but you know, it's just practice. If you're not sure and you want to get practice out of it before you do this tutorial, I do have a tutorial here on YouTube for the magic ring, magic circle, magic loop. The link to that tutorial is in the description box down below. Otherwise, I'll try and make it as basic as possible. You will need to know how to do chains, you will need to know how to do double crochet, and you will need to know how to do a treble crochet, which is pretty basic. It's similar to the double crochet with an extra few loops. That's really all it is, okay? So let's get started. We'll just start with our magic ring, magic circle. You've got your tail end, pass your working end over your tail end, forming a little crisscross right there, okay? Grab your hook, your 3mm hook, okay? Pop it under that loop, the first loop, pull the back loop up and over, hold it there, and hold that there. Okay, so you still got your tail end. Bring that out a bit more. Okay. You have to hold everything for your first 2 stitches, or I should say 4 actually, because the chain is 1 stitch. So you've got yarn over hook, pull a loop through once, and then twice, and then 3 times. And we're going to still hold your work there for a minute, and do 1 double crochet in that loop. A little bit fiddly, I've let go, you shouldn't let go, but I know how to grab it. So yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. Bit fiddly that very first stitch. Okay, let me show you again. You can have a better look, see? I'm going to pull that loop a little bit. You don't have to, but it helps a little bit to, don't pull it too much because you need to fit in another 11 double crochets here. So there you go. So what I have so far is your 3 chains, 1 double crochet. We're going to do another double crochet. This is the second double crochet. Now if you want, you can tighten it a little bit so you've got more control, and then you've got your 3rd double crochet, still a little bit fiddly, the cotton is quite thin, and your 4th double crochet, five, 6, 7. So I've been wanting to do this all week actually, and I've wasted so much time this week. 8. I've been trying to look for some past items for 9 for our Friday Fever today. I'm sorry, History Friday, I should say. 11, I think I just did 10, but I'll count in a minute. 12. I've lost count now, talking too much. I'm a chatterbox, aren't I, guys? Okay, let's try and count quickly now. I think it's right. Now, if you're new to crochet and you want to know how to count your stitches are these little V's that you see. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then the chains make 13. All right, so this is where we are at. Pop your hook back on for a minute. And your little tail end that we had before, you need to give that a big tug right now and close up shop. Keep it at the back of your work, okay? Now this stage of your heart, we need to slip stitch to the top of that chain right there, that very, very top chain, the first 3 that we worked on, that top right there, okay? So if you want to know, a lot of people confuse this. There's your double crochet, the next double crochet. That stitch belongs to that double crochet. So your very next chain, or your first chain, which is your last chain, I don't know if it makes any sense, is that one right there. So it's a little bit fiddly to begin with, but once you get through that stitch, because yours truly does hers, we're quite tight. But there you go. You should see the 2 loops on it, okay? So grab your loop, pull it through those 2 loops, and then pull it through the loop on your hook. Okay, it's all closed up shop, okay? So now what we need to do, this is where your treble comes in, your taller than normal stitch. So with your normal double crochet, you yarn over hook and you pop it in the, say that little 2 loops there, and you do your normal double crochet. With your treble, it's yarn over hook twice. So there's once and then yarn over hook twice. You should have 2 loops on that hook. Now we are going to place our first stitch in the 2nd double crochet. So these are your chains that we've just done right there. That's your first double crochet, and that one there is your 2nd. 1 and then 2. So you're popping your hook in the V stitch, the little V that we saw before. Yarn over hook, pull up a loop. You should have 4 loops on your hook, yep. Yarn over hook, pull through 2. Yarn over hook, pull through the next 2. Yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. So it's rather elongated in comparison to your normal double crochet. You're going to do it again, 1, 2. In the same stitch, you're going to put another one. Okay, 2 and 2 and 2. Whoops, don't lose a stitch like I just did. Then you're going to do it again. And what we are going to do is put altogether 7 trebles in here. So 2, we've done 2 so far. Yes, we've done 2 so far. So now we're going to put another 5, okay? And your 4th one. And your 5th one. I'm very sing-songy, sorry guys. If you're new to the channel, sorry, I do get a little bit sing-songy. Everybody else knows me. This is your 6th one. My regulars know how I get sing-songy. Sorry, guys. And this is your 7th one. Now, if you're not sure if you've done 7, you'll be able to tell quite simply by looking at the very first stitch you did. Now, that is not a stitch there. That's your slip. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then that is your last stitch. So that you've done 7 trebles. Okay, easy so far, very easy. Your next stitch is a normal double crochet in that very next stitch right there. So you're just doing, oops, your normal double crochet is yarn over hook, pop it through your stitch, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. Now we're going to do, for the next 2 stitches, we're going to do what we call a double crochet V-stitch. So all you need to do is put 2 double crochets in that next stitch. So there's 1 double crochet and 2 in the same stitch. Easy. And then you do the same with the next stitch, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And in your very next stitch, you're doing the 2 double crochets, but you're doing it twice. Okay, so this is where your point is on the bottom of your heart. Okay, so you do 2 double crochets in that stitch right there, 1 and 2. Sorry, I'm going too fast for you guys, sorry. Chain 1, and then do another 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Okay, 1 and 2. Then you do your 2 V-stitches that you did from before on that side. We're now going around the other way. We're doing exactly the same thing we did this way in the opposite. So you're doing a 2 double crochets in that stitch. Then you're doing 2 double crochets in the next stitch. 1 and 2. And then you are doing a normal double crochet in that very next stitch. Okay, what you should have now is 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. Now this is where we're going to start our trebles again. We do our treble, which is yarn over hook twice, pop in the very first stitch you come to there, or the very next stitch I should say, and you are going to do all 7 trebles. So it's 1, and this is 2, and this is 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, one more, and 7. Simple so far? Sure is. Sure is. You've got to try and get your slip stitch way back into that stitch right there. Not in the chain, but actually in that slip stitch that you had in your previous round. All right. It's a bit tight, but it's there. Okay. Try not to put it into the chain stitch, that space right there, because it'll just be loose. So just pull up a loop, pull it through, grab your scissors and give it a cut. Now this part here, I'm just going to pull up your little heart, and the actual heart itself is finished, right? To bring that heart down like you've seen mine here, which is further down there, all you need to do is turn your heart over and grab your end and pop it through your needle right there. Whoops, I was out of frame there, sorry guys. I just wanted to keep it nice and close for you, this part here. That is actually your right side, so turn it over, okay? All right, now what you want to do when you're weaving in your end, that's going to pull it a little bit, so it'll close it up. So find a spot anywhere at the back of your work and just split the yarn at the back. Try not to let it be visible in front because you don't want it to be showing. So now you just pop it through, pull that through. So if you give that tail end a big tug, what it does is it pulls your work down. Let's try it again because that didn't work very well. All right, there it goes. It's gone down. Okay, so it will look a lot better. Pop it through another end, making sure you can't see it in the front. Right there, you can see a tiny little bit, but that's just the back of that needle, the front needle. Okay, the bottom needle, I should say. And then just slip stitch it in through the base, not too much. So once you get it through the base and give it a tug, it kind of closes up shop right there. Okay, so now you've got your proper love heart all formed. Now all you need to do is go back the other way because you don't want it to come undone, do you? So just find another separate section you can go back in, whatever's easy for you, and then go back the other way. So you've done it 3 ways. And then all you need to do is give your work a cut. That won't come undone. And now we need to weave in this end. See how it's opened up a little bit? We have to pull that end at the back like so, and that will close up your circle, and so now you don't have that gap. All right, now it's not enough that you've crocheted over that magic ring or magic circle. You really need to weave that end in, otherwise that's going to come undone. So I hear a lot of people say, oh, my magic circle comes undone. Yes, it does. It's not tied up, so it's going to come undone. So you need to actually weave that in at the back in that part where you've crocheted over. You go one way as much as you can, and then you turn around and go the other way, making sure you give it a tug to keep that center gap closed. Now I've got that little tail end from the other one right there, but that will be all sorted out in a minute once we give it a good shake. Did I say shake? I meant shape. Wake up, Mary. All right, so let's go back the other way. It's really quite simple. When you go back the other way, it really locks it all into place. Now we've crocheted over it once, we've sewn it one way once, and now we are weaving it in. Oh gosh, it's really tight now. I've done it really tight. Well, we know that's not going to come undone, don't we? There we go, that's better. All right, now we're in. So we've done it 3 ways. Crocheted over it once, sewn over it once, and then sewn over it twice the opposite direction. And there you go. That is your love heart done so far. Now we're going to do our tail ends real quickly. This is where you'll need your measuring tape. Let's move everything out the way so we can see. My work measured, my tails, they all measured around 70 inches. I know it's rather long, but it won't work otherwise if you don't do it that long. It was 70 inches or 180 centimeters. Okay, so let's do that roughly around that, or you can make it 80 if you want to make it a little bit longer. In fact, it might pay to do 80. All right, so mine stops at 80, so I'm going to do 80 inches or roughly 200 centimeters. Sorry about the noise, guys. That's the retractable measuring tape. So keep, mine's caught now. Keep measuring it and just get to your end. It's retracted on my foot. I just dropped it. Just give it a cut. All right. Now you are going to use your thread to measure the second thread. Okay. Keep going, keep going. And there's your second one. Give it a cut. You're going to use the same thread to measure, your third thread. Oh, I've gone too far. Sorry, guys. I got thread happy. Thread happy, can I say that? All right, there we go. All right, so now you have 3, I don't know how far out I can bring this, 3 long threads. So what you need to do, keep them together, grab your tail ends like that, okay? Pop them all together, hold them there, and pull all your work through that way, okay? Until you get to the top, and there's the very top of your 3 threads, okay? Grab your heart. Now you want the right side of your heart. Now the right side is the side that we didn't weave in those ends, so that's the right side, okay? You want to pop your 4.5mm hook, or 5, or whichever one you used. Remember that double V-stitch thing we did, and there was a chain. You've got to find that chain space at the bottom of your heart, pop your hook in, grab all those loops, and let's get a nice close-up, and pop it through your heart. All right, this is a little bit tricky, but it'll be all right. You can do this. Chain, we're going to just do a normal chain through there. A little bit tough, but we can do it. 1, okay? Just be wary. If you want to straighten up your threads, you can. Otherwise, you'll get them all going through crooked. It doesn't really matter because you can't tell once it's all chained up. So chain 2, bit tight, and 3, 4, and as long as you want to go, or as long as you want to take your tail end through. Now, the other one that I showed you is a little bit smaller than this, but not much smaller. Probably about, I don't know, a centimetre smaller, or an inch smaller, or just under an inch smaller, something like that, you know. So it's not much smaller. So when we're done here, we'll just put them up together against each other, and you can see the difference between sizes. You can make them smaller. You can make it any length that you like. All right, we're nearly there. Nearly there. It's pretty good. And we're almost at the end of the tutorial too, which is even better. Don't forget, guys, if you would like more tutorials, you need to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the bell button for all videos so you can receive all my future videos in your inbox. Also, don't forget to visit my Etsy and madeit.com.au stores. Not sure how long I'm going to have those open for because I'll be doing my website soon. But there you go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just lost some ends there. All right, I'm at the almost tail end. So what I'm going to do is just pull that loop through. That's all I'm going to do. Give it a tug, and this is where we're at. You could have kept going if you wanted to, but that's where I'm at now. So what we're going to do now, so that it looks gorgeous as well as being finished, we're going to even up our ends here at the bottom. We've got ends all over the place. I didn't actually straighten them up enough when I started, so all I have to do is give it a trim. And there is your bookmark. One bookmark complete. This is the one I made. There you go. It is much longer. The one we've done today is so much longer than the one I made last night. So there you have it, guys. There is your gorgeous little bookmark. In fact, I'm going to show you the whole thing complete. Ta-da! And there you go. There's your little heart there, and there's your little tail end. Ta-da! And when you want to open up your book, you just grab your little tail end, hold it there, and out comes your bookmark. Yay! Thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you for joining me as often as you do. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for our Saturday live, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time. So join me there for the live, and we're going to have a lot of fun chatting away and just talking crochet related items. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy your Love-heart bookmark. It can be a gift for your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, teacher at school, anybody. It can be for anyone. So thank you so much for watching, and guess what, guys? Ciao for now.